What up, people? We're your after hours investors. My name is Michael.
My name is Chris.
We're starting off the week with a huge gap on Lyft. Chris, take it away.
All right, so you might be wondering, why is this relevant for today's trading? Well, like I said with Nordstrom, we did have a gap with Nordstrom, and we did end up filling it after we lifted up to highs when Ryan Cohen stepped in, and we did end up bouncing on that gap line, reluctantly. And if we take a look at Lyft, we have the same play except in reverse with this upside gap. Now, in today's trading day, we did go up green a bit, but I am looking that the RSI is at 30 as of now, and I'm thinking that this will go up in the future, and we could potentially fill that gap up slowly. You might be wondering, hey, Chris, the 200 MA is over the candles right now. It looks pretty bearish to me, man. You would be right, but the thing is, we are at a bottom here at support, and we are at RSI that it is 30 right now. So I would pick up calls here for at least 2 months out. I think this gap will be filled eventually. It will take some time. I'd say potentially 2 to 3 months out of calls. You could go up as high as 16, and then as soon as the gap fills, you can just sell your calls. I think this is a great place to buy your calls as of now. If we even the thing to note though, this does follow the flow of the market. So if this SPY is down tomorrow, of course you're gonna be down on Lyft. Probably, it's most likely the scenario. And if we do go up tomorrow, this will go up as well. And the reason why we did gap down is because we had really poor earnings per share. We had really good revenue though, so the outlook for Lyft is looking rather well after this earnings. It looks like it just bottomed out here, and we could see that upside gap fill. Let's go ahead and cover SPY for today. So SPY is at a really pivotal point because we're reaching that gap of 417 to 421, and I do believe that gap will be filled potentially by this week. If not, we might touch that gap tomorrow with tomorrow's CPI. We have a forecast of 6.2. I think worst case scenario will come at 6.3, and then potentially just start off the launch. JP Morgan has said that we have a 70% chance of going in the green of 1.5% tomorrow, and I believe that that will potentially happen. How will it play out? Well, I think potentially we will have a form of a gap down tomorrow, if not any red, and then continue into the green and potentially hit 415, and then maybe 418. We'll see what the week has ahead, but as of now, I think I'm bullish for tomorrow. I think this will be the best case scenario that we'll get a 6.2, maybe a 6.3, and then we'll just have the launch pad ready. Michael, if you want to talk about your plays and how you see the market unveiling right now, you can
Thank
take
you,
it away.
Chris. So yeah, we get our CPI numbers coming out tomorrow, an hour before the market opens too. So if you're up early, you can catch that CPI number and make a judgment for your play. Forecast is pretty modest. We've seen the inflation rate be dropping at like rapid rates at 0.7% at a time. So for this forecast to be 0.3, it really seems like to me that they're setting up a busting market right now. I'm pretty confident, that we're probably going to pass this forecast and have an incredible inflation number. But Chris always brings me back to reality. And worst case scenario, we could see a 6.3% that might tilt the market back into bearish. But right now, we are both fairly confident that we're going to meet this forecast. If not, pass through it greatly. Let's take a look at our stocks today for me. So, of course, Google has consolidated after their little mishap with Bard. Frankly, I'm still very confident that this is a great entry point for the near future. I'm not really sure what the time frame they got for Bard. I know that they got this on like, Red Alert. They're at DEF CON like 4 up at Google right now trying to beat OpenGPT, but OpenAI, sorry, ChatGPT. And frankly, I don't think they have much to worry about, because when you look at the issue with Bard and that displays that they had, it just gave a wrong answer. And it's very well known that ChatGPT actually gives horrendous answers. When you ask it to write, a short essay about a subject, it pulls out the most random bullshit off the internet. It can't really tell fact from fiction. So, but right now Microsoft has incorporated it with with Bing. And everybody loves Bing. Everybody wants to use Bing. It's their redheaded child. So, people avoid Bing like it's the fucking plague. And now that they've incorporated ChatGPT with it, you've seen a Microsoft stock. Investors are putting a lot of sentiment into it. They're very confident. They see the money, rolling right now. But eventually, at the end of the day, the only thing that you get out of the Bing incorporation is sometimes it can cite its sources, but even then, sometimes its sources are wrong. The PT for ChatGPT stands for pre-trained, so this bot is not actually learning from its mistakes, because you can't really, we've had examples of this before where if you release a robot to the internet to learn, people just feed it the most racist and, bullshit, because people, they want to have a laugh instead of actually, innovating. So they need to keep it, very exclusive right now. They feed it very specific case scenarios. And that's why, I'm very confident that Bard from Google, if they can manage to get it to fact check, which, I'm not very well versed in AI programming, so I don't know what kind of difficulty they'll have to do that. But I'm fairly confident that Google, with all their information, their search queries go all, fed into the big machine. They know what people like. They know what everyone's looking for. They know what's relevant. You can look up, data on what people are looking, what people are searching to figure out what's relevant today. So Google's got a massive amount of data that they can really feed into Bard. That won't, that's not to say that Bard won't be, a little bit, what's to say, like they might use Bard, a little bit maliciously to spit out specific responses at times. But I'm fairly confident that, for what it's going to do, it's going to be very impressive. So, watch out for Google. Apple, pretty bussin' today. I don't know. They just did pretty well. Tesla's finally, lost its momentum. But if the market goes up, like Chris said, Lyft's going to follow, Tesla's going to follow, everything's going to follow. And of course, Disney, they actually had a huge sell-off. It looks like they had a big bull run, and then people took the profits. So they've consolidated, but they're still trying to take over the world. We'll keep an eye out on that. And last but not least,
You wanted to mention
cryptocurrency.
Coinbase, yep.
Coinbase. Kraken, which is another cryptocurrency exchange, recently they settled a lawsuit from the government as they're, staking coins as a service. Basically, when you stake a coin, you're basically like buying the receipt. You don't actually own the coin. You have the receipt that says you own the coin. Ooh, it's the ghost of Michael's past. I explained this so awfully, so I'm going to take another shot at it right here. Staking is basically the same thing as buying a security. Now, with stocks, normally you buy a share of a company. If that stock goes up, your share goes up. You sell the share. It's the same price as the stock. Whereas with securities, you're lending your money, usually to the government in form of bonds, and the government owes you interest over time, the same as when you put your money in a savings account and you're lending your money to the bank and they'll give you interest on your money. It's the same exact thing. So with staking, You're lending your crypto, and they'll pay you back APY, annual percentage yield, which is the exact same thing as interest. I had a personal experience with Coinbase when Ethereum 2 came out. They said that you could stake your original Ethereum for Ethereum 2, and they offered at the time, I think it was either 5% or 10% annual percentage yield, which is interest basically. And when the crypto market crashed, they actually dropped that API to like 1%, 3%, something ass. They basically finessed a lot of people. So I don't really know. The Coinbase CEO says he's very confident that he can fight this in court, because he says that it's not a security since you're staking the coin you already own and you're getting a reward, not as an investment, but as a profit from you're helping out the blockchain. So they're trying to they're going to try to convince the government. It's a pretty uphill battle, because Kraken already got cracked down on. So it looks like the government's got already an agenda that they're going down with. So I'm not fairly confident that Coinbase is going to win this. So it is, but that's just my opinion. I just think this is something to maybe avoid if you are, investing in Coinbase as a company. Something to keep in mind is they're cracking down on staking as a service, and that could very much hurt this company's stocks. And it is very, it is pretty undervalued at the moment, from their all-time highs. And looking at Bitcoin, we broke past our line of support, but it looks like we're pretty fine. It looks like we consolidated. I'm pretty confident. We see SPY, going up today. So I think Bitcoin's actually, coming to follow, a little bit delayed. And of course, that means Ethereum. And of course, that means my love child, Ethereum Classic, which, I support wholeheartedly. Honestly, if you're going to invest in Ethereum, I don't see why you don't invest in Ethereum Classic. It's like 4 times the move. It literally just makes no sense. Other than that, Chris, you got any closing thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I do think bulls are in favor for this week. I think CPI will come out either moderately or maybe a point, 1 point above their forecast. I don't think we're gonna get a bearish scenario, and if we do, then we could head to that 400 level, and then see if we can hold that bottom, that line of support. And but I just don't see that happening right now. I think bulls are really in favor right now, and this week will uh kindly remind bulls that they're in fierce power.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching. And like I said, if you guys got any insights, see something we don't see, please leave a comment, and hopefully explain yourself too, so we can understand. Maybe we can reach something that we both haven't seen. We're all here together. We can all ride the wave. There's no reason for anybody to get left behind. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a great day.
See you guys.